we went over 2 decades of wanting to see Nick Cage portray Superman in the now canceled Superman Lives. So WB finally gave us a glimpse into what it could have been with The Flash. And at that very moment, we all realized they dropped the ball. And one person who absolutely does not like how hard they dropped the ball is Tim Burton, the director of the would-be Superman Lives. So I've talked about it before, but it was at this point years ago. I'm actually not a fan of Tim Burton's work. I don't really find it to be my thing. His aesthetic and everything does not click with me. My favorite film of his is Batman '89, and that's really the only one of his films I enjoy. My wife, on the other hand, is a huge fan of everything Tim Burton, so you can see how our visions and enjoyment of his content clashes. The reason I'm saying that is because I'm going to agree with a lot of what Tim Burton says, but also I'm going to disagree with some of it. I just wanted to preface that. So, yeah, recently, when he was interviewed by the British Film Institute about his canceled Superman Lives project, how it was brought back to life with Nicolas Cage in The Flash, he said he doesn't have regrets in regards to what happened with it, but he's not a fan of how they handled it, how it looked, how they used AI, and how it's essentially them not doing anything with his version of the film and his character, and going out there and botching it, and then obviously the film failing to do anything is just something that completely ruined what he had in mind. And while I sympathize with what he's saying here and I agree with it, I'm going to have to take a step back and say he has no ownership of it. He was hired to direct Superman Lives. It never got off the ground. So he was hired by WB and DC to work on their character. He doesn't own Superman, right? But I do agree with him that it's his vision, right? It was his version of the character, him fighting the giant spider, what he wanted to do, and them taking the absolute laziest and most offensive way to deliver it is honestly in bad taste. So I 100% agree with that. At the bigger issue of it, it's the whole AI thing and how they can dance around it and not do anything with it, and who's getting paid and who's not. And also, if you look at, his and how he handled it and what he was doing and what they used, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in here. And I don't fully agree with him on this, but I understand where he's coming at it from. And it's one of these things that's just, I think, going to forever be a big question mark. Whenever we look at the history of Superman, Superman Lives is going to get brought up, and now this is going to live alongside of it.